Well, I feel like this is my power hour by request because I have been a super fan of Nutrisystem for over 45 years. And speaking of 45, how about taking off 45 pounds in 5 months? Sarah is just one of the examples. How about Laura? 50 pounds. That's a fifth grader. Seriously, 50 pounds in 19 months. We're looking at Rose, 103 pounds in 26 months. She doesn't even look like the same person. And we're talking about life transformational opportunities. Here's Mike. Actually, you're gonna hear from Mike a little bit later on in this show. He has his own personal story to tell. But what's your Nutrisystem story? If you don't have one yet, it's only because you have not tried this one-of-a-kind #1 name when it comes to #1 name in home, delivery when it is in terms of weight loss. It's the taste, it's the ease, it's the convenience, it's the savings. And when we talk about a bountiful opportunity, nobody has this. Do it on FlexPay. But so basically, with Nutrisystem, you get the keys to the kingdom. You get the tools for success. But more importantly, with our savings that we're doing today, you just choose, do you want the balanced or the vegetarian? And then if you want to carry this nearly $130 savings forward as you move through the new year, most of us have more than 10 pounds to lose, do that auto ship. So quick little update. If you want the balanced in the auto ship, we have 250 only, 250 only. I have to tell you though, the only mistake that you can make is by waiting, because this is our only today's special that is currently scheduled for the year. It is your last show, as I like to say, that power hour. What are you getting? It all starts with that Fast 5. We're all engineered for instant gratification. And if you can look at that scale and lose up to 5 pounds, some people lose more in that first week, do it. And listen, 2020 taught us nothing. If I have enough stressors in my life, I have enough things to worry about, you don't worry about your food. You want your breakfast, you want your lunch, you want your dinner, you want your snacks, you wanna eat pizza, you wanna eat lasagna, you wanna eat popcorn. I wish we could have recorded my crew before this show. They're like, muffins. We had everybody at muffins. So again, all you do is choose, do you want the balanced or the vegetarian, and then do you want that single, or are you doing what over 70% of us are today and doing that auto ship? Allison, I don't know if we're gonna show the if purchase separately or not, but I can tell you this, not only is this an exclusive offer that expires at midnight, Nutrisystem is there to support you in a way that they really don't do for anybody else. And we are here to give you what I call the keys to the kingdom, the toolkit for success in a way that no one else does. And by the way, when you see those success stories, it's not only getting the weight off, but keeping the weight off. And no one epitomizes that better than my guest of honor. I love her. You've seen her on television for years. And listen, Kathy, it was funny because I heard you reminiscing with Tamara and Suzanne and Adam. We talk about old diets like we talk about old boyfriends. The cauliflower soup, the ice cream diet, we break up with all of them. At some point, they treat us wrong. But Nutrisystem has been treating you right, and you look gorgeous. You have to share your personal story.
Thank you, my friend. So nice to see you. Happy 2021. And let's give 2020 the boot. I mean, we're over it. And everybody's going to have a do-over. Now we're going to all be forgiven for all the grazing and the snacking and the overdoing. And talk about overdoing. There's a picture of me 8 years ago packing on some serious poundage. That's a pandemic all by itself. The belly was hanging over the handlebars, the legs. That one doesn't look quite as bad. Trust me, it was. And then more recently, I would say the newer me, the me that's kept this weight off for 8 years, allowing me to do the things that I really enjoy, such as biking. Now I've taken up tennis, but I find that as someone who likes to eat, you cannot give me rabbit food. You cannot take away crunchy, salty, creamy, spicy, because then I'm bored and then I cheat. So what Nutrisystem did for me was it gave me all the flavor profiles I love, and it gave me the control. Because, Shannon, I'm a cheater. You want to talk about boyfriends? They'll tell you. I'm a cheater. You give me directions to take a 4-ounce chicken breast. I got a big palm. I'm going for 6 to 8, girl. And you tell me to take a handful of crackers out of the bag. Well, there's 7 or 8 crackers left in the bottom of the bag. I'll finish that bag. So what happens is they give me, with Nutrisystem, exactly what I can have. All of it. I can lick the pattern off the plate. So when they give me lasagna, it's a nice portion of lasagna, and I'm allowed to eat not just this, but broccoli, string beans, cauliflower. I can have brown rice. I can have sweet potatoes, a whole wheat English muffin. I can have peanut butter. Those are the extras that you can buy and have as your snacks. So can we go through how you start when you first get the box dropped at your front door?
You literally took the words out of my mouth. It's like I was beaming that into your brain, because I really was. Because the thing is, people are like, okay, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. And when you get this delivered right to your door, it's like Christmas, only better, because you're gonna lose that weight, you're gonna look great, you're gonna feel great. There's no chaos in the kitchen, there's no weighing, there's no measuring, there's no this, the that, the other thing. Whole point though is, you do need to select it now. And in fact, on that auto ship option, now remember, 30-day unconditional money back guarantee, the only scheduled today's special that we have, at least at this point, for the rest of the year. Basically, you can secure that today's special price moving forward on the auto ship, choose it in balanced or vegetarian. But most people are doing the auto ship in balanced. Now, a few words to the wise. My producer is actually on the phone right now to see if they can't manage that inventory in some way to allow you to select it through this entire hour. All I would tell you is I really want to encourage you to do it now. But Kathy, as I said, it's a lot of stuff. And we talk about the Fast Five and how delicious the food is and how there's no denial. Let's take us on that journey. Let's talk about some of the components and actions. So I get this great, big, beautiful bounty box to my door. What do I do after that?
What do you do? First of all, let me, for someone who might just be tuning in and hasn't been watching me drone on all day, balanced means you get foods that have chicken and meat in them, like meatballs and lasagna with meat. So that's the meat and chicken profile. If you're like me and you don't like meat, go with the vegetarian. And by the way, we have some new things which are really cool. The Harvest Grain Bowl, very cool. I love the chili. I love the pasta. You say vajoli, but if you live in Philly, it's vazul. And it's just a bean and a delicious red sauce. But anyway, when you get this lovely box at your door, you don't have to go out, you don't have to get the food, you don't have to go to a meeting. What you'll do is first go into the box and open the one that says Fast Five. And the first thing you'll see are the protein shakes. Now, these protein shakes are absolutely essential. They have fiber and probiotics in them to make you feel really full. And you whip one of these babies up with a cup of cold milk, a cup of cold water, and then I use 4 ice cubes and I blend it, and it is as thick as like an ice cream, frozen ice cream, and it's almost like a blizzard. It's super thick, and that's something that you will start your day with. Then you're going to get breakfasts, lunches, and dinners for a week, and they're color-coded. Sunny yellow for breakfast, blue for lunch, red for dinner, and my favorite color, purple, for dessert. You're going to get everything for that first week, but what we're keeping out are many of the vegetables and fruits. We're getting you jump-started so you can lose up to that 5 pounds. After the first week, now you're going to transition into weeks 2, 3, and 4, and you're going to have 5 days on the program and 2 freebies. 2 days of your choosing where you eat what you want, but we give you guidelines to make sure you don't go crazy. What's the point of dropping 1.5 pounds in a week and then putting 1.5 pounds on the weekend? So we give you, yes, you can have a glass of wine. Yes, you can have your steak, your hamburger. You can have the roll. We just teach you how to do it better so that you are able to just coast on through week after week after week. And that's why Shannon is encouraging you to take advantage of auto ship. You don't want to run out of food. You don't want to have to pay a higher price to continue. And once you are pumped and see that first 5, and then every week more and more drop off, you don't want to miss out. And as Marie said earlier, Marie Osmond joined us by Skype. She said, listen, eat the whole box for the 30 days. If you don't love it, you get your money back. So it's a phenomenal guarantee that you get success or you are given your money back. It's a really, I think, sure, easy, honest way to shop. And you're going to get 5 breakfasts a week. You're going to get 5 lunches a week, 5 dinners a week, 5 snacks a week. So that breaks down to, you have your breakfast. Let's say you want a blueberry muffin. We have blueberry muffins. We have banana muffins. We have the new Streusel cinnamon bun type muffins, which are fabulous. Or you're on the go, you don't want a muffin, grab a bar. We give you breakfast bars. You're going to get 5 breakfasts each week. So you're getting 15 breakfasts in addition to your fast 5. Then on your own, you can have some fruit cup, an orange, an apple, a banana, a little peanut butter, some turkey. You can have snacks and nuts, sunflower seeds, and I have it right here, pumpkin seeds and almonds. In other words, we keep your body even. We don't give you that, oh, we feed you and then we starve you. So let's say, Shannon, 8 o'clock in the morning, you have breakfast, 7:30, whatever. Maybe you want a yogurt with your muffin. You have your bar. Maybe you want cereal, pancakes. We give you pancakes. So we give you what you need to eat for breakfast. Then about 2.5 to 3 hours later, just when you're starting to get that little edge, we give you the snack. Now you have something to tide you over to lunch. Lunch could be something like, I love some of these lunches. They're so good. I wanted to show you this one in particular. Is this my lunch here? Nope, that was my dinner. I got a lunch floating around here. Oh, here we go. This one. These are super easy. This one is black bean quinoa. These you shake to mix things up. Then you peel off the lid, add water, microwave, and let it sit for a couple of minutes till it thickens. Now you have this delicious, hearty, black bean quinoa bowl. Or maybe you want 3-cheese chicken if you're on the regular Balanc program, or cheddar, broccoli, and rice, or mac and cheese. And if you don't want to stay and microwave anything, we give you lunch bars, grab and go bars. So there's something for everyone. And after lunch, you get a snack, and then you get dinner, and you get a snack. So it really is breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, snack. You're never hungry, and you lose the weight because everything is done for you. It's portion control. It's like we're your personal chef. We're giving you a selection. You just point and eat, and you're good to go.
And I think that's really key, because when I say it takes the chaos out of the kitchen, I mean, it really does. Listen, we had enough to worry and stress about in 2020, and the last thing you need to worry about is, how do I get there? You know, I look around my house and it's so overwhelming, because I did a lot of shopping in 2020. Maybe you did too. And it's like, how, right? I mean, how in the world where do I even begin to get this organized? We give you the keys to the kingdom. And the thing is, and I do not say this lightly, everything in life is guided. And maybe you thought you knew about Nutrisystem, but I want you to really sit up and take notice and give this a try, because they would not be the #1 name for over 45 years if they weren't doing something right. They have your personalized counselor for you. They're only doing this for us here at HSN. The Fast 5, if that is the only thing that really sets you up for success, because again, we're an instant gratification nation, and we say up to 5 pounds, but in many cases, people lose more than that. But at the end of the day, we all need help. And this is the way to put you in charge, to put you in control, to give you the right tools. This is your toolkit or your toolbox for that success, and not just for the instant gratification with that Fast Five, but as you move forward, whether you see Kathy at almost 10 years now with that beautiful, thin, healthy body, you know, and we're all going through different ages and stages in life, or you saw Marie earlier. I mean, you see a lot of celebrities who endorse plans, and then, by the way, she did this long before she did Dancing with the Stars, but then those gossip magazines, I can't wait to take photos of the after, she's maintained it, right? So you have to say they are doing something right. And I cannot encourage you strongly enough. As someone who in the distant past actually, you know, worked with Nutrisystem, I've tried Nutrisystem, I love Nutrisystem. I love to cook, but I gotta tell you, when it comes to that weight loss, it's easy to convince yourself that it's more than 8 ounces or more than 6 ounces. You can't help but succeed when you have Nutrisystem. So you eat the food, you lose the weight, but if you want to save the money, take the chaos out of the kitchen, take the chaos out of those New Year's resolutions, you owe it to yourself, whether you're an empty nester, whether you're just trying to do your utmost best for your immunity, because frankly, extra pounds translate into maybe, you know, an uncomfortable back, or you really aren't setting yourself up for the best or the healthiest new year, regardless of how those pants or those skirts or those shirts are fitting. So for men and for women, I hope you do it now. You get that 30-day return policy. It is the only scheduled Today's Special for the rest of the year. We don't know when Nutrisystem is going to be back, but if you do auto ship, and that's why I say choose the balanced or the vegetarian, and then choose it in the single or the auto ship. But at least give yourself the opportunity to always have that toolkit for success. Because again, then you can manage and customize your delivery options, but you cannot enroll later. Meaning you get that first 30 days and you see the Fast Five plus another 5 plus another whatever it might be, and then you're like, well, I want that today's special price. Do yourselves a favor, at least ensure or reserve what we have left in the auto ship, because then of course you can manage that as you move forward, but you're always going to get our best price at almost $130 off, free shipping, and that flex pay. Hey, Kathy, I know we are anticipating some great success stories live, but I'm gonna defer back to you again, because when it comes to different diets, anyone watching this show, some people are empty nesters, some people have gone through the change of life, some people have, you know, new babies at home, and then there are the guys who just don't wanna ask for help. What would you, right? I mean, they don't ask for directions. Why would they ask for help on the diet? But what would you tell somebody who's saying, well, that's great for ... but what about me?
Well, you know, it's sort of like tennis. If you constantly hit the ball into the net, the question is, why don't you change the losing strategy? If you have dieted over and over and over and constantly say, I can do this myself, I know that all I have to do is just cut back and watch my calories, you will at some point run into a wall and you will go off. And once you go off, it's like the addiction kicks in, and now you had that roll, now you're eating a loaf of bread. It becomes a problem, it snowballs, and then we give up. And a lot of us do take care of elderly parents. A lot of people are caregivers, and it's stressful. You might have someone in the hospital and you spend hours a day sitting. I get it. Chips, cookies, stuff that is not good for us because it's soothing. Food is comfort. Food is what provides a moment of happiness on the lips, unfortunately a lifetime on the hips, and a lot of times we just can't stop that moving train. If someone gives you a program that allows you the stress foods that you love, and you have to go be with someone, you will be able to find a microwave in a hospital. And you will be able to open up a bar. You'll be able to eat the popcorn. You'll have the cookies. And you can always find cheese sticks or an iced tea, things like that. You can always find some crackers, an apple. So they're easy things. And you know, you just shop the perimeter of the market. You just go get your veggies and your fruits, and the rest of the market you pretty much don't need to touch. You actually save money. You save money. People say, oh my gosh, $199, Think about what you spend when you go to the big box stores and buy a ton of junk food that's not good for you and causes us all to overeat. And these are some great photos, Shannon.
I mean, they really are. And what I really want, if you're watching the show, whether it's the first time or you're familiar with, I don't know how you couldn't be familiar with Nutrisystem, you really are watching for a reason. And Kathy nailed it. What is going to make this year different? Well, certainly we're all hoping for brighter skies. You know, 2020 was its own unique animal. But what might not be unique is maybe you've still got those good intentions, but you couldn't have that wish fulfillment. Meaning, I think, you know, whether it was 2020 and yeah, we were giving ourselves a pass, but we are hitting the reset button now. But all of those good intentions really can't be fulfilled unless you have the right tools. And that's what I have to keep stressing. At least set yourself up for success. What is going to be different this year? We hope a lot of things are going to be different this year, but unless you call, unless you try it with a 30-day return policy, you truly never know just how well this is going to help you succeed this year when in other years, maybe you haven't. Well, she's not only a living, walking testimonial, but, you know, Michelle is joining us. And Kathy, you've had the opportunity to work with just so many beautiful people as their Nutrisystem story has unfolded. Kathy, I'll kind of defer, maybe turn the reins over to you for a second. So Michelle is kind of a longtime favorite, isn't she?
I know Michelle. I met Michelle when Marie and I were shooting an infomercial out in, where was it, Michelle? Was it in Vegas or California?
In Las Vegas. Yep.
It was in Vegas, right.
It was.
And I remember meeting you, hello, and I just loved your story because you sat on Santa's knee and you made a wish, did you not?
I just struggled with my weight for so long. And Nutrisystem fixed that for me, 100%.
And that picture on the right of you before the 41 pounds, was that a Santa shot? Did you say you were sitting on Santa's knee, or did I misunderstand that?
That's right. That picture was taken. I had taken my kids to have our picture taken with Santa Claus, and I sat down next to him and we had the picture and they handed it back and I saw that person looking back at me and I was bigger than the Santa Claus in the picture and I didn't recognize that girl at all. I didn't know who she was and I was scared to death. I had battled my weight my entire life and nothing I'd ever done. I was never able to lose 5 pounds and now I was looking, you know, I had more weight than ever to lose and I had no idea what I was going to do at that point.
Hey, you know, that's the funny thing is people say, but I can do this on my own. When you did it on your own, I assume that you lost a few and gained a few more.
That was the story of my life. Yes, it was. I would lose 5 pounds. I would gain 10 pounds back. I mean, we can go all the way back to middle school, high school. It was just, my weight was a constant battle. I always thought you had to take everything away. I always, you know, I was the diets you were talking about earlier. That was me. I was trying to cut everything out of my diet, out of my life, and I have no willpower, and that's really, really hard to do, and I think that that's why so many people fail is because we sort of think that we have to eliminate all of these things, and Nutrisystem is different where it gives you all of these things right back, it delivers it on your front porch, and it makes this process so much easier. And that's why I was able to stick with it as long as I could because of that variety. Look at all of that food. I mean, come on.
You're right. And how is your life different today? What makes this gorgeous Michelle different from the young, smiling Michelle next to Santa in terms of activity?
My life is completely different. I am confident now. I am strong. I am living life to the absolute fullest now. And that girl before, she was afraid to try new things. She was afraid to, you know, I didn't want to be on the sidelines. I wanted to be out living life with my kids. That was the biggest thing. And I wanted to be at the pool and not worry about, you know, how I felt in the bathing suit. And I wanted to be going down the slide with them and just out living life with them instead of watching it. And I didn't have the confidence. That girl before didn't have the confidence that I have now. And it's completely changed my life. I mean, from my career to everything, I'm a fitness instructor now. And if you would have told me that 20 years ago, I would have laughed in your face. And now, I mean, my whole life is around helping other people try to do the same thing, and that's 100% because of Nutrisystem.
Oh, gosh, Michelle, you know I love hearing your story, and we never have enough time. But before we let you go, I think it's a real valid question. You mentioned fear a couple of times, and, you know, we've had a big fear factor in 2020 for a lot of different reasons. Have you found that fear of gaining the weight, that fear of what do I eat, that fear of what do I do next? Do you feel like Nutrisystem has also given you the tools where you don't have that fear factor anymore, or how would you describe that?
For sure. You know, Nutrisystem took away that yo-yo diet that I was on for so long because, like I said, they taught me how to eat everything. That I didn't have to take things away from my program or my diet. I could enjoy life. I just had to eat the right portions, and I had to, you know, eat the green beans and the veggies and drink your water and get up and move your body. And it taught me all of the things that I needed to know, and it's been 10 years that I've done this. I've kept my weight off for 10 years, and it's 100% because of the information I learned from doing Nutrisystem. They were the ones that gave me that kickstart, that gave me this program that I could stick to long enough to lose the weight that I needed, and they taught me everything I needed to know to keep it off.
Well, Michelle, well said. Kathy, I know they're getting ready to shoo us. We got a lot to get through in this hour, but any final words for Michelle, Kath?
I just know that you have kids who get to eat what they want to eat, and you don't have to feel excluded because you get your pizza, they get their pizza. Everybody's happy, and you should be very, very proud of yourself.
Yeah, that was one of the easiest things was pizza night at the house because you stay right on plan. You know, while the kids are enjoying their pizza, you have yours and you're staying right on track too. So it makes it so simple. It's a no-brainer. It takes all the thinking out of it. But yes, thank you so much for having me tonight.
Great to have you here.
Have a
Absolutely.
great year.
Best and healthy New Year to you and your family, Michelle. Thank you for stopping by. Hey, if you are stopping by, this is a power hour. It is Nutrisystem's last airing of their finest value of the day here at HSN. You know, Nutrisystem is #1, and they have been #1 for over 45 years. And I especially as we put that reset button on 2020 and hit that reset button for ourselves, for our bodies, for our lives in 2021, you are watching this show for a reason. And whether you've heard about Nutrisystem or not, chances are you have. I really want you to try this offer for so many different reasons. You know, listen, we can make all the great or best resolutions in the world, but if we don't have the right tools, it does not set you up for success. And these are the keys to the kingdom. Best price that we will offer, at least at this point, this is your only scheduled airing, or I should say only today's special for the year. We're not quite sure when Nutrisystem is going to be back. In addition to well over almost $130 off, when I say it takes the chaos out of the kitchen and takes that fear factor out of the food, if you get it only because for that fast 5, you do get that instant gratification up to, and in many cases, you know, 5 pounds off in that first week. But moreover, you don't worry about, okay, what am I gonna do when I'm craving pizza? What am I gonna do when I'm craving muffins? What am I gonna do when I'm craving that salty popcorn? That's why I say all the tools for success. All you have to do, though, is choose. Do you want it with the balanced, or do you want the vegetarian? And quite frankly, I can tell you with the last 28 minutes of this show, before we raise that pricing, if you want the auto ship, now the balanced, they did manage the inventory slightly, but at this point, we have only 500 reservations remaining in that auto ship on the balanced. And just remember, you cannot enroll with that savings on auto ship on this package after midnight. So that's why actually 70% of those of you who have joined us and selected this today have done the auto ship, because at least that gives you the option of customizing and moving forward with that success at that 1 day only pricing. Get it at home, try it for yourself. Whether you're like Michelle, you know, a busy mom, it changed her life path, her career path, and certainly her children's path. Whether you're like Kathy, who's kept that weight off, you know, she's been in the public eye for decades, and, you know, it doesn't get any easier as we get older. Or, you know, and Kathy, I think that's really important, because when we look at something, and I was kind of joking that our diets of the past are like our bad boyfriends. You know, we'll do anything once, but the whole idea is, you can lose weight eating only ice cream, but then what happens, ... when you stop doing that? Stop the madness. This is a way to not only get that weight off, keep that weight off, and just live your best today, tomorrow, and futures, isn't it?
You know, Shannon, Marie Osmond was on earlier, and she brought up a really good point. There are stories that we tell ourselves. I have a thyroid issue, Hashimoto's, if you know what it is. That means you have a slow thyroid. So I tell myself that I don't lose weight easily. A lot of people say, well, I'm just genetically predisposed to it because my whole family was heavy. Well, you know, I come from a family where we eat really big meals on Sunday, and it's just tradition. I'm not able to lose weight. We all have some form of a story that we have sold ourselves. And a lot of us, my age, are saying, you know, it's just age. I hit menopause and my body changed. Yes, it did. Yes, it is tougher to lose. Yes, it is way easier to gain. Wait, I can gain 1.5 pounds in an hour. I can't lose it that fast. But the stories we tell ourselves prevent us from actually taking the step to try to do what we know at Nutrisystem will work. These are just stories in most cases that we have sold ourselves on. If you go on a proper protein, fiber, nutritional, balanced program with fruits, vegetables, salads, dairies, nuts, and really good food in proper portion, the weight can come off. And that's why we encourage people to try this, because you will be surprised that this one works. And it's good, it's tasty. All you do basically is cut the top off of these packages, stick them in the microwave for 1.5 minutes, and then pour them into a bowl or a plate. Dinner's ready. You're ready to go. We have such good choices. You have something different all the time. And when it's one of these bowls, you just remove the plastic lid. There's a metal pop-up lid, like a tuna can lid. Pull it off. You don't need a can opener. Put this lid back on because it's vented. Microwave, stir, and eat. So we make it easy for you to be able to give up all the stories that you've told yourself about why you don't think you can lose. Almost all of us are able to get in control and to be a better version of ourselves. And we owe it to ourselves, Shannon. We don't get another run. This ain't the dress rehearsal, you know, this is it.
You know, Kathy, I'm going to pump the brakes for myself for just a moment, because I'm just so excited to have you here and Nutrisystem here to really help us start the new year right. I'm delighted that most people are choosing that auto ship, because then you have secured that today's special price. And remember, at this point, this is the only current scheduled today's special. If you want the auto ship in the balanced, however, we now are able to take fewer than 400 reservations. And my producer, Allison, is keeping a real close watch on that. We'll always keep you posted on pertinent information. I do want to kind of dissect the program again, though, if we could, because one thing that I haven't really delineated, and I apologize, I'm just so excited about this, and I'm so jazzed that people are taking advantage of it, is Nutrisystem thinks of everything. Again, the Fast 5, you can pay it forward with that today's special price. If you do the auto ship, you always get our 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. You don't worry about breakfast, lunch, dinner, or snacks, and all of these tasty options that in most cases take only 90 seconds. But then, you know, everybody deserves a little time off. They do give you the option of taking either the weekend off or 2 days off to once more take care of, you know, those cravings. And this is a time of year where certainly we don't have a lot of distractions. We don't have, you know, the Christmas party, the New Year's Eve party, the this or that, the that or the other thing. Can we just kind of dissect, you know, what happens when they get it at home? And one of the reasons it is so easy to start this out of the box, Kathy?
Well, we give you 5 days on. So you are in complete control for 5 days. And then we allow you 2 days off. And you pick the 2 days. I don't tend to do Saturday, Sunday. I don't have a traditional lifestyle. Believe it or not, our fish store gets fresh fish right from the Atlantic on Monday. So I like to have my own day, Monday and Tuesday. Scallops, salmon, flounder, whatever, shrimp, and I'll do my own meal, but I will follow the guidelines in this book, and this is the holy grail of the program. This gives you your shopping guide. It tells you what to buy. You don't have to buy everything, but you buy the few things that you like, the fruits, the veggies, the dairy, your cottage cheese, milk, whatever it is you like, and then we tell you how to work it into the program on your snacks. And then you also will have a guide on how to make things, how to cut back on some of the bad habits. If you are a person who loves the tortillas with the cheesy nacho stuff and the guacamole and the sour cream, that's Crusher. That is just going to be a diet killer. They will give you better options. And you have a toll-free number on the back that you can always call, like 9 to 9, and talk with a nutritional counselor. And you can say, I'm on the ledge today. I'm just dying to eat something that my grandma stopped by and she makes the best scones with jam, and I'm like gonna die then. Help me. They will talk you off the ledge, so to speak. If you hit a plateau, a lot of people, myself included, I hit a plateau at 6 weeks, consistently at 6 weeks. I lose, bupkis, and it makes me nuts. And so you can call your counselor and say, I can't seem to budge the scale. I've been here for 10 days. And the counselor, in Marie's case, she told her to up her protein, have an extra hard-boiled egg, have some rolled turkey. She pushed her protein up, and that pushed the scale. So this is designed to give you your own personal counselor, to give you all the meals you need, and on your days off, how to order from a restaurant, how to make it yourself, what to buy, and to just be able to eat what you like, steak, ham, pork chops, hamburgers, but to do it in moderation. You want a sweet potato, you can have it. You want a whole wheat English muffin, you want some peanut butter, you can have it, but we tell you how to have it. And I can't do peanut butter very easily because I tend to overdo it. I'll get in the jar and I'll go crazy. But I'm told take 4 celery sticks or 4 carrot sticks and just put a little bit of peanut butter on each one and close that lid. And after a while, you get used to doing that. And you'll find that it's just easy. So after the first 5, we now start adding food. I mean, the fast 5, the first week, we start adding food. You're going to have breakfast, followed by a snack, lunch, followed by a snack, dinner, and then another snack, which is your dessert. So you can think salty, creamy, sweet, chewy, caramely, fudgy, chocolatey. We have them all. You identify what you're in the mood for. Some days you're feeling kind of sweet. Some days you're feeling kind of salty. Some days you want a little sassy and savory. We have barbecue chips with that kind of a flavor. So there's something for every mood, every taste, and to keep you on track. It is an easy program. And it's just not the same going to the market and buying one of the frozen meals. That's not the same as a program. That's a dinner. And it will probably cost you more than any of our 5 days here. It's just, I think people unfortunately delude themselves when they think they can just go buy a dinner and I'll be fine. Skip a meal, don't worry about it. It doesn't work that way. You have to eat.
You do indeed. Hey, on that note, though, we only have 20 minutes remaining in this presentation. I spy Sarah. She's getting ready for a brand new Today's Special at 12 midnight. But that's my reminder to you. Listen, I'm like you. I get caught up in all the testimonials and the information and the should I or shouldn't I. Tonight and now, this is when you do need to make that decision, because at midnight, of course, we see another Today's Special. So you're watching for a reason. At least give yourself the opportunity to succeed this year and do it with the #1 name in the industry. Do it for the lowest price that we or anyone else has done, with, of course, that money-back guarantee for 30 days. So, Allison, let me just double-check. I know we've got Mike's. Should we check in with Mike? Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We have another success story, but one in particular I want you to stick around for, because we haven't heard from the guys yet in this Power Hour. So we're gonna talk to Mike and see why it worked for him in just a moment. But speaking of working in a time when we need to be doing that cleaning, in addition to hitting that reset button, Miss Sarah, brand new Today's Special at midnight.
Hey, Shannon, I've got something with your name on it. I know Shannon likes to clean, and don't we all? Well, guess what? It's a new year. We have our most powerful cleaner we've ever offered in the history of HSN. What is it? It's Magic Clean. Why do they call it Magic Clean? Because it cleans like magic. We're talking about a proven cleaner to kill 99.9% of harmful bacteria. It kills staph, it kills E. coli, inactivates viruses, sanitizes hard surfaces in 60 seconds, controls mold and mildew, it disinfects, it eliminates odors, it removes allergen. Oh, by the way, it's also great on stain removing for your laundry, for your pet beds, for your carpeting. It's the one cleaner that does it all. We've got the biggest bundle, we've got the best offer of the year, and it all kicks off at midnight Eastern time. This is a cleaner that you can live with. It's safe for kids, it's safe for pets. There's none of those harmful fumes. It's a pleasant odor. In fact, it's so clean, you can spray it and you don't even have to wipe it off. There's no rinsing required. Go ahead and spritz your cutting board, make a sandwich. That's the power of Magic Clean. We'll see you at midnight with our best value of the day.
Hey, thank you, Miss Sarah. We'll look forward to seeing that. And when you do see Sarah with that brand new Today's Special, remember, then this offer is no longer valid. So time is certainly of the essence. In fact, even with the 15 minutes that we have remaining, there's a very good chance that your choice in the balanced option, whether it's the single or the auto ship, may actually not make it until that kickoff with Sarah at 12 midnight. But in the meantime, Mike has been patiently standing by in Utah. Mike, thank you so much for hanging tight with us. I'm gonna let your before and after and Kathy kind of fill in some of the blanks. I mean, we see your picture and certainly that tells a story, but talk a little bit about, or Kathy, if you wanna help lead us down that garden path, Mike is also a great testimonial, and it's nice to hear from the guys, isn't it?
No question. Is Mike there?
Yeah, yep, I'm here.
Hi there. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much. How are you?
I'm just peachy bit. I'm enjoying another chocolate bar while I'm sitting here. So you tell us your story while I eat.
Oh, yeah, we'll go ahead. So, you know, it's interesting. Today's kind of like my 3-year anniversary from when I started with Nutrisystem. So I lost 55 pounds, and I received Nutrisystem as a Christmas gift from my wife. She got me Nutrisystem, and I'll be honest, it wasn't the gift that I wanted, but it was something that she felt like I needed. And it came to the door. I opened it up, and I took out the contents, the package, and I put it all on the table. And I was kind of smart with my wife. I said, you know what? I'm going to follow this plan exactly. I'm going to eat everything that they tell me to eat when I'm supposed to eat it, and I'm going to prove to you that it doesn't work. And after, 30 days, I lost, I think it was like 13 pounds, and I just continued to eat, the food month after month. And sure enough, 55 pounds later, I lost it in 7 months. It was just fantastic.
Hey, Mike.
Mike, do you travel with your job?
Oh, yeah, I travel a bunch, and that was part of the problem is I would just, when I'd go out and travel, I would just eat a lot of food. And the great thing with Nutrisystem is you can, because I wasn't gone for weeks at a time. It was just, maybe a day or 2 days at a time. But what was so great is I could actually pack my food, bring it with me, and it was just so easy to eat. And again, the one thing that I loved about this is I was never hungry. In fact, I almost felt full all the time because you have, a breakfast snack, lunch snack, dinner snack. It felt like I was always eating, and the food was fantastic.
Hey, Mike, I do want to ask you, though, in terms of savings, because, the guys are pretty practical out there. How would you compare this to what you might have been doing on those dinners out when you were, traveling with work or the fast food? Would you say it not only got your results, but saved you money in the long run?
Oh yeah, this for it was a lot cheaper because a meal when you go out to eat is expensive. I mean, it really is, especially the way that I like to eat. And with Nutrisystem, it's something that really saves you money. And the great thing is it teaches you how to live by a principle of eating with portion control, and that's something that I really needed to understand in my own life.
So if you drove through and got a cheeseburger, fries, and a soda, would that be like $10? I don't know.
Oh no, it's for me. If I'm getting that, I mean it's going to be $15.
So if it's under $10 a day for Nutrisystem with all this food, I would think it stands to reason this is quite a nice value.
Oh, it is an amazing value. It really is. And the food tastes great. That's the best thing about it.
Hey, Mike, I do have to ask, and Kathy will forgive me for using part of her line, but, we're so proud of you, and more importantly, we're proud that you're sharing this story, because I think for the guys in particular, they need to be encouraged, but so did you have a nickname before you started Nutrisystem?
Well, it wasn't really a nickname. See, so what happened is my son, I only was able to talk to him like for every 6 months. He was serving a, kind of a service mission. And so he'd only be able to call on Mother's Day and Christmas. And so he called me, and again, we Skyped. And so every 6 months, he'd be able to see a picture of me. And so he was gone for 2 years. And after 18 months, again, he'd only see me. And so this time when he looked at me on Skype, he just sits there and said, "Dad, I got to tell you something. You look really fluffy." And you know what? When I heard that, I was devastated. I just didn't know how to respond. And my wife, she says, "Mike, are you going to do something about that?" And I said, Terry, I think when you get to my age, I just don't know if your body can really lose weight. And that's when my wife, she decided to get me something for Christmas, and she believed, in Nutrisystem, believed in me that I would be able to follow it and do a good job. And sure enough, 55 pounds later, I was able to lose the weight.
So that was the story you told yourself, that you couldn't lose weight. It's just not in your dynamic. We all have some story that we tell ourselves about why we can't do it. And I think a lot of people are just afraid, Mike, that they're not going to win. They're going to fail. And like you said, you only did this program to tell your wife that it doesn't work. You actually set out to prove her wrong, and you got to be wrong, but you got to win.
Right, and the great thing is Nutrisystem just didn't give me of 55 pounds, losing 55 pounds. It really has helped me to become a much better husband, a much better father. It has given me confidence in my work, and it's just made me become a better person. I've been able to do things that really, 3 years ago, I never would have thought possible. So, I mean, I just owe Nutrisystem everything.
Well, Mike, we thank you. Going from fluffy to hottie.
Hey, thank you. And my wife thanks you, too.
My best to her, to you, the whole family. Mike, be well in 2021. Thanks for joining us tonight.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a happy New Year.
Hey, thank you, Mike. But, I know I'm kind of saying that tongue in cheek, but it's interesting, Kathy, the first time that we had Mike on during one of our shows together, that almost looked like a father-son photo. I mean, he said how it changed his life, but he was talking about his son and how his son was calling him fluffy. But, the thing is, what is that weight costing you? And, certainly, Kathy, we had a lot of costs that, financial or otherwise in 2020. I mean, yes, the money they save you, but Kathy, it's almost important that we ask, what is that extra weight costing you in terms of how you're living your life, right?
No question, Shannon. And it doesn't get any easier or better if we don't do anything. You might say, well, I have 20 pounds to lose, but, it's okay. My knees are sore, but my knees have been sore before, and I'm getting older, and it's the story we say. But the truth is, how would you feel minus 4 bags of potatoes, 4 big grocery bags, 5 pounds each, off your knees, off your back? And Shannon, I have a lousy back. When I gain weight, I literally end up in pain all the time, taking tons of stuff to try to kill the pain, ruining my day. And it's because of my weight in so many occasions if I get too big. So I'm always cautious, but people have to know, especially after this year, your health is the one thing that you truly, truly have an obligation to take care of. To be healthy, as Marie said, for your families, you might be the person, you might be the one that everyone relies on. And if you're carrying too much weight and you're tired and you're depressed and you're sluggish and life just looks really half empty glass, maybe taking off some of the weight will change some of that attitude. I always am happier when the weight's off. I always feel better, optimistic, like I could conquer the world. And you know, if you're out trying to find a job this year, if you're out trying to meet somebody, the first thing that makes you feel better and sassier and more in your face is when some of that weight comes off and you say, you know what? I look good. I'm strong. I can do this. And then you can do almost anything else. It's really a wheel within a wheel of progress. And there is a psychology behind losing weight. It does make you feel better. And blood pressure, cholesterol, all those aches and pains can also be alleviated in a lot of cases because of simply taking the weight off.
And you really have to have the right tools. And what's so amazing is we've got about 6 minutes remaining before Sarah kicks off a brand new Today's Special. At this point, this is the only current scheduled Today's Special from Nutrisystem. And I really hope you try it. Good news is, if you call us right now or use that mobile app or shop by remote or go to hsn.com, we have now only a couple hundred reservations remaining in the balanced, whether it is the single ship or whether it's the auto ship. So at this point, as long as you are selecting it now, remember the price does go away regardless at 12 midnight. You still get that 30-day return policy and that free shipping, the Fast 5, your breakfast, lunch, your dinner, your snacks. But give yourself the opportunity to succeed this year. And in a year where, let's be honest, there was a lot of chaos in our lives and in the world, this takes the chaos out of the kitchen. And you know, the other thing about it is too, Kathy, not only is it goof-proof and easy, it's non-judgmental. And what I mean by that is, you know, listen, we've all done something, and it's like, oh man, I ate a piece of bread. Oh man, I had that cookie. You eat the food, you lose the weight. And they've got the salty, they've got the sweet, they've got the lasagna, they've got the pizza. They have covered their bases because they have the research, the history, and the legacy to prove it, don't they?
Yep, chocolate, apple strudel, cinnamon bun, real blueberries in the blueberry muffin, banana muffins, streusel muffins. We have food that does not have artificial stuff, no MSG, none of the junk, none of the, you know, the things that are bad for you. This is healthy food. This is highly researched by nutritionists. There's a complete team on board that's always developing and tweaking and making it better. That's why the food has improved dramatically over the last decade. And if you say, well, I had it 10 years ago, I didn't like it, it is completely different. It is delicious. The sodium levels are below what most people are considering normal. It's good for you food. It's tasty. It's easy. That's all we want. Tell me what to eat. Make it good. Make it easy for me. Make it grab and go. Make it shelf stable so for a year it'll last in case I find one behind the counter, you know, that slipped behind the shelf. It's shelf stable and it doesn't require refrigeration. And also, there's an app, Shannon. If people who love tech want to go to the app, it's called NUMI, Numi, as in new me. Numi is the Nutrisystem app, and it gives you tracking. If you want to track, it also gives you recipes, hints, all kinds of cool community things, but you get a $25 coupon when you go on the Numi app. And you can use that to try our frozen ice cream sandwiches. They'll send them to you packed in dry ice. You can try some of the meals that you might not have gotten in your shipment. Maybe you say, boy, I'd love to try that Harvest Quinoa bowl, or I'd love to try that muffin. So you can use your $25 coupon. So try the Numi. It's great. I tend to use the regular tracker, just checking off what I've eaten, but so many people do love the little tech. They like the computer. So we've really kept up to date. We've managed the food to be absolutely what your body needs so that you're fueled, you're happy, you're energetic, and you're losing the weight. This is it. This is the year for us to get back in control. We lost control of everything last year. It wasn't our fault. This year is going to get better, but the one thing you can control, especially now when you're not doing parties and banquets and running off to weddings and lunches and office things, you have a chance to do it while you're home. And if you say to yourself, where do you want to be in 90 days? Do you want to be a few pounds lighter? Or do you want to be the same or heavier? Do you want to be a little healthier? Or do you want to be the same? This is a program that guarantees it. And if you eat it and don't like it, or you don't see the results you wanted, you get your money back. I don't see where there's any risk. This is a risk, a no risk, no brainer program. It's really just wonderful. And the food's great, whether I'm dieting or not. I eat the food because I'm lazy. I just want to microwave and eat dinner. I don't want to cook.
Amen. I mean, but it is a win-win proposition for sure. And the fact that we are taking, well, basically $130 off, and I'm being conservative because whether you're going through the drive-thru or not, like Mike was saying, what is that, $10, $15, $20, at a crack on a 5, 6, 7 day a week